starting now. This is your local news leader, News 10 ABC at 11.
Tonight on News 10, more new cases of COVID-19 are linked to a local 4th of July party. We'll have a look at the latest numbers. And environmental advocates joining residents of a local community calling on the governor to use his power to end the burning of toxic chemicals. We'll hear from those who say they're living in the shadows of pollution. Plus, an old abandoned building in Albany coming back to life as local kids use it as a canvas to express their feelings surrounding the Black Lives Matter movement. But we begin tonight with breaking news. The Rensselaer County Sheriff's Office is investigating a fatal motorcycle crash. Around 7 o'clock, deputies were called to the area of State Route 43 and Newton Road in Steventown. Deputies say the driver of the motorcycle collided with an oncoming vehicle. The driver of the motorcycle was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the vehicle suffered minor injuries. Tonight, the cause of that crash remains under investigation. Tonight, police are searching for a suspect involved in a shooting at a car wash in Schenectady. Police say it happened around 3 o'clock this afternoon at the Colonial Car Wash on State Street. One man was taken to Ellis Hospital to be treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Officers say they found a number of shell casings at the scene. If you have any information, you're asked to give Schenectady police a call. And this comes as nearby Rotterdam police are investigating a shots fired incident from this morning. Police tell us they're not sure if the two shootings are related. Around 10 a.m., police were called to the area of Vischer Avenue and Hendrick Street. Officers say at least 2 vehicles were involved. They believe an occupant of one vehicle shot at least twice at the occupant of the other vehicle. If you witnessed this shooting or have any further information, you're asked to give Rotterdam police a call. Moving now to the coronavirus outbreak, there are now 22 positive cases of COVID-19 linked to a large backyard party held on Hudson Avenue in Albany on the 4th of July. Albany County Executive Dan McCoy making the announcement this morning. He added that his county now has 17 new positive cases since yesterday. 4 of the new cases are healthcare workers and 2 are people who had recently traveled. There are currently 87 active cases in the county with 644 people under mandatory quarantine. Tonight, 3 county residents are hospitalized for the virus, but none of them are being treated in the ICU. A total of 122 Albany County residents have died from COVID-19 since the outbreak began. Statewide, Governor Cuomo says so far we've avoided a surge in new cases like those plaguing other states in the South and West. This morning, he announced that the number of people hospitalized with COVID-19 is down, but sadly, 11 people have died since yesterday. Statewide, there are 754 new cases. Governor Cuomo continues to warn New Yorkers that they are putting themselves at risk if they abandon safety measures such as social distancing. Meanwhile, Senator Jim Tedisco is still pushing for legislation that would create a state panel to look into what led to the deaths of thousands of New Yorkers in state-regulated nursing homes. Today, Assembly Minority Leader Will Barclay and State Republican Leader Rob Ort now joining other members in sponsoring the legislation. It calls for an independent and bipartisan commission to fully investigate the deaths and issue recommendations for the future. According to Tedisco's office, roughly 6,400 New Yorkers died in nursing homes from COVID-19, though he says that number could be higher. The governor's March 25th executive order mandated those infected by COVID-19 to be placed or returned into nursing homes. New York was the only state in the nation to do this. 2 New York senators announcing today that so-called hotspot hospitals are set to get millions of dollars in additional funding, including right here in the Capital Region. U.S. Senators Chuck Schumer and Kirsten Gillibrand announcing 86 hospitals across New York State will get more than $680 million in funding. It's part of a $10 billion allocation designated for hotspot hospitals through the CARES Act. The money is mostly going to Long Island and New York City, but Albany Med, St. Peter's, Nathan Littauer, Columbia Memorial, and Sunnyview Rehabilitation Hospital in Schenectady are also on the list. For the latest updates on the coronavirus outbreak, be sure to stay with News 10 both on air and online at news10.com. A number of environmental and local community leaders joining residents of Cohoes today to call on Governor Cuomo to sign a bill that would ban the burning of toxic firefighting foam at the Norlight incinerator. In 2018 and 2019, the incinerator reportedly burned over 2 million pounds of what's known as AFFF, which contains PFAS chemicals. Environmental advocates say the burning took place with no environmental review and no notification to the public. The incinerator is located next to the Saratoga Sites public housing complex, where over 70 families live.
This the other day, I think last week or the week before,